Have you ever given your dog a piece of cheese with a hidden prescription pill inside? Watched them swallow it, felt that huge relief, only to hear that tiny, frustrating clink on the kitchen floor 3 seconds later. You look down, and right there on the tile, completely licked clean of every single drop of cheese, is the exact same white, chalky pill. How did they even do that? Your dog just ate the entire treat, miraculously separated the medicine inside their mouth, and spit it right back out. And in that exact moment, you feel pure frustration and total defeat. Pilling a stubborn dog is one of the most exhausting battles a pet parent has to fight. You try hiding it in hot dogs, you try wrapping it in lunch meat, and eventually, out of pure desperation, you end up prying your dog's jaws open and trying to force it down their throat. Your dog panics. You get your finger scratched, and the beautiful bond of trust between you and your best friend feels temporarily broken. First of all, please take a deep breath and let go of the guilt. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Tony Lee, your neighborhood veterinarian. I know exactly how horrible that daily wrestling match feels. Every single day, loving pet parents call my clinic completely exhausted because their dog refuses to take their life-saving medication. But what if I told you that you never have to pry your dog's jaws open ever again? What if I told you that dogs spitting out pills is not a behavioral problem but a biological mechanism that you can easily bypass? In this masterclass, I am going to turn you into a canine behavioral expert. We are going to decode exactly how a dog's mouth and throat actually work. I will expose why wrapping pills in cheese almost always fails. Then, I am going to teach you two brilliant, completely free veterinary tricks. I will teach you the butterlide hack and the rapid-fire decoy method. These are the exact psychological secrets veterinary nurses use to give any pill to any dog in exactly 10 seconds without a single fight. Hit that subscribe button to join our amazing family of educated pet parents. Grab a notebook and let us cure that daily medicine panic right now. Welcome to Chapter 1, The Biology of the Spit Out. To stop fighting your dog, we first have to understand the science of what is physically happening inside their mouth when you hand them a hidden pill. Why are dogs so incredibly good at finding the medicine? Humans experience the world primarily through sight. Dogs experience the entire world through smell. A dog's nose is a biological marvel. When you take a highly bitter, foul-smelling pharmaceutical pill and crush it into a piece of cheese, your dog does not just smell the cheese. They smell the exact chemical composition of the medication hiding inside. Their nose acts like a microscopic scanner. When they take that cheese ball into their mouth, a primal survival reflex kicks in. In the wild, bitter tastes and strange chemical smells indicate poisonous plants or rotting meat. The dog's brain instantly signals that there is a foreign, potentially toxic object inside the food. Because dogs have incredibly agile tongues and highly sophisticated sensory receptors in their mouths, they begin to delicately move the food around. They isolate the bitter pill, swallow the safe fat from the cheese, and forcefully eject the bitter chemical out onto the floor to protect themselves. They are not being stubborn. They are engaging an ancient evolutionary survival instinct. But there is a second biological hurdle we have to conquer. It is the issue of moisture. When you pry a dog's mouth open to force a pill down their throat, their brain enters a state of panic. When any animal experiences fear or anxiety, their sympathetic nervous system completely shuts down saliva production. Their mouth and their esophagus become bone dry. When you throw a dry, chalky, uncodated pill into a bone-dry throat, it instantly catches on the delicate tissue. It creates massive friction. This immediate friction triggers an incredibly powerful gag reflex, forcing the dog to heave and violently spit the pill right back up. Prying their mouth open actually guarantees they will reject the medication. So now that we know they can smell the chemical, and we know that a dry throat causes a gag reflex, how do we successfully bypass their defense systems? Welcome to Chapter 2, the 10-second butter slide. If we want a pill to go down seamlessly, we must achieve two things. We must completely mask the chemical scent, and we must create absolute zero friction. The squishy pill pockets you buy at the pet store do not provide enough lubrication, which is why dogs can still chew them apart. To create a flawless slide, we are going into your kitchen refrigerator. We are going to use pure, unsalted cold butter, or if your dog prefers it, plain full fat cream cheese. Here's exactly what you do. Take the prescription pill. Do not touch the pill with the same hand you are going to use to hold the butter because you will accidentally transfer the bitter medication dust onto the outside of the treat. Keep your hands separate. Drop the pill into a small cold chunk of butter. Roll it completely around until the pill is entirely encapsulated in a thick layer of fat. You want it completely sealed. Now, why are we using heavy cold fat instead of bread or a regular dog treat? By completely encasing the medication in solid fat, you form a perfect biological barrier that traps the chemical odor inside. The dog's nose smells pure, highly valuable animal fat instead of medicine. But the real magic happens in the throat. When you give the dog the butter-coated pill, it immediately begins to melt the second it hits the warmth of their tongue. It transforms into an incredibly slick, slippery, lubricating capsule. Even if their mouth is dry from anxiety, the butter entirely eliminates all friction. The pill cannot catch on the esophageal tissue. It simply glides down the throat like a greased water slide straight into the stomach before the dog even realizes what happened. No gag reflex, no spitting it out, just a flawless delivery. Now, before you run to the fridge, a quick medical disclaimer. If your dog has a history of pancreatitis, severe fat sensitivity, or a delicate stomach, hold off on the butter. Stick with a zero-fat option like a dab of plain canned pumpkin or boiled turkey breast instead. We'll break down all the toxicity and tummy rules in detail later, but safety always comes first. Okay, now we must play detective here. What if you have a dog that refuses to open their mouth at all? What if they are so suspicious from past trauma that they refuse to even look at the piece of butter you are holding out to them? For the dogs who are highly suspicious, we must use the greatest psychological trick in the veterinary playbook. Welcome to Chapter 3, the rapid-fire decoy method. This method is pure behavioral magic. It works on the psychological principle of resource scarcity and momentum. When you hold a single treat in your hand and slowly offer it to your dog, you give them all the time in the world to sniff it, analyze it, take it gently, and chew it. Time is the enemy of giving medication. If they chew, they will find the pill. We need them to swallow it whole. To force a dog to swallow something whole without chewing, we must create a sense of urgency. You will need 3 treats for this to work. You can use 3 tiny cubes of plain boiled chicken, 3 small cubes of mild cheese, or 3 chunks of plain hot dog. I call these treats number 1, number 2, and number 3. You will hide the medication securely inside treat number 2. Treat number 1 and treat number 3 are completely empty. They are your decoys. I want you to hold all 3 treats in your hand, but make sure the dog clearly sees that you have multiple pieces of food. Now you are going to rapid fire these treats into your dog's mouth like a pitching machine. Give them treat number 1. It is empty and delicious. The dog eats it and thinks, wow, this is amazing. The absolute second they swallow treat number 1, you immediately hold out treat number 2. Because you presented it so fast and because their brain is already craving the next bite, they will snap treat number 2 up without hesitating. But here's the true secret. The exact millisecond the dog takes treat number 2 into their mouth, you must immediately hold treat number 3 clearly at their eye level. This triggers a brilliant psychological glitch in the canine brain. When a dog has food in their mouth and they see another piece of high-value food waiting right in front of their eyes, their primal brain overrides their desire to chew. They realize that they must empty their mouth immediately in order to receive the next prize. Because they want treat number 3 so badly, they will instantly gulp down treat number 2 completely whole, completely ignoring the hidden pill inside. Once they swallow it, you gladly hand them treat number 3 to seal the deal. 1, 2, 3. Empty medicine, empty. It creates incredible momentum. The entire process takes exactly 10 seconds. There is zero stress. The dog feels like they just won the lottery by getting 3 snacks in a row. And you feel like an absolute genius because the medicine is safely in their stomach. My friends, you now hold the secrets to bypassing the spit-out reflex and the chew reflex. But as a medical professional, I have a profound duty to give you the honest, hard truth. Sometimes the way we give medicine is not just frustrating. Sometimes making the wrong choice in the kitchen can cause a catastrophic medical emergency. You must know the safety rules of human food before you ever hide a pill inside it. Welcome to Chapter 4, the Toxic Treat Warning. We just discussed using high V-value human foods to hide medications, but not all human foods are safe, and not all dog stomachs are strong. Let us talk about peanut butter. Millions of pet owners use a glob of peanut butter on a spoon to hide a pill. But you must become a compulsive label reader. Many modern low-calorie peanut butters and human yogurts contain a deadly artificial sweetener called xylitol. Sometimes manufacturers try to hide this ingredient by labeling it as birch sugar or wood sugar extract. If you hide a pill in peanut butter that contains even a trace amount of xylitol, your dog's pancreas will release a massive surge of insulin. Their blood sugar will fatally crash, and they will suffer irreversible liver failure within hours. You must check the jar 3 times to ensure the only ingredients are pure peanuts and maybe a little salt. If it says sugar-free, throw it in the trash. Next, we must talk about the cheese and the butter we used earlier. While plain low-fat cheeses like mozzarella or cottage cheese are excellent pill hiders, you must be incredibly cautious with heavily processed cheeses or thick blocks of high-fat butter if your dog has a sensitive digestive tract. Certain breeds like miniature schnauzers, Yorkshire Terriers, and overweight older dogs are highly predisposed to a horrific condition. This is a life-threatening inflammation of the pancreas, usually triggered by eating a sudden concentrated lump of pure fat. If your dog has a history of a sensitive stomach, vomiting yellow bile, or known pancreas issues, you absolutely cannot use butter or heavy cheddar cheese to hide their pills. If you have a sensitive dog, you must use a zero-fat pill hider. My absolute favorite alternative is mashing the pill inside a tiny cube of plain baked sweet potato or wrapping it in a tiny piece of lean boiled turkey breast. These options hide the pill beautifully without putting any dangerous strain on their digestive organs. And my final medical warning concerns the medication itself. Many owners get so frustrated that they decide to crush the pill into a fine powder and mix it into the dog's water bowl or food bowl. Please never crush a pill without asking your veterinarian first. Many veterinary medications are coated in a special protective shell designed to survive the intense burning acid of the canine stomach. If you crush the pill, you destroy the protective shell. The medication will either be instantly destroyed by the stomach acid before the dog can absorb it, or it will cause severe, agonizing stomach ulcers that make the dog violently ill. Always call your clinic and ask before you ever reach for a pill C-crusher. We have covered incredible ground today. Finding out your dog is sick is already stressful enough without having to turn every morning and every evening into a wrestling match over a prescription bottle. I know how badly you want them to feel better, and I know how much it hurts your heart when they run away from you and hide under the dining room table because they hear the sound of the pill bottle opening. Taking care of a sick or aging dog requires immense patience. They cannot speak our language, so they do not understand that the bitter, chalky object you are forcing into their mouth is actually designed to save their life. They just know that they feel scared and they feel defensive. But you now have the tools to completely change that environment. You no longer have to pry their jaws open. You no longer have to listen to the awful sound of them spitting the medicine across the room. When you use the slick, frictionless coating of a butter slide to bypass their dry throat, and you use the brilliant psychology of the rapid-fire decoy trick to stop them from chewing, you take away all the panic. You are literally turning their medical treatment into a joyous, exciting game. Being an educated pet parent removes the paralyzing conflict from your daily routine. The simple fact that you devoted your precious time to sitting here studying canine behavioral psychology and learning how to respect their fear tells me exactly what kind of fiercely loving protector you are. Your dog is incredibly lucky to live in a house where someone cares enough to make their healing journey so peaceful. You are doing a phenomenal job. And I want to know about your amazing dogs too. What is the craziest, sneakiest thing your dog has ever done to avoid taking a pill? Have they ever successfully eaten the entire treat and somehow spit the pill back out in perfect condition? Tell me your funniest stories down in the comments below. I absolutely love reading them. And the experiences you share might provide a great laugh and immense comfort to another totally exhausted owner reading through the comments right now. So if this deep dive gave you confidence today and saved you an unnecessary battle in your kitchen, please gently tap that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this natural psychological veterinary science is vital, and it helps our channel save so many other dogs from fearful encounters. Make sure you hit subscribe to join our incredible growing family of educated pet parents. I am Dr. Tony Lee. Check those peanut butter labels tonight. Prepare those 3 decoy treats. Stay confident, and I will see you all in the very next.